So if I told you I once met a man who had lots of stories of how to beat bill collectors, and he claimed he once got a city shut down for a few days because the city refused to fix a pothole in front of his house, would you find that interesting? Well then, keep watching this video. So about 20 years ago, man, it really has been about 20 years ago, I was living in Independence, Kansas. One night I met this man. I don't remember exactly how it came up, but somehow he got to talking about all these times he beat bill collectors, how he knew every trick in the book to get them to stop calling, to get them to stop coming after you. According to him, he knew the law, he knew his rights, he knew things like the hours they can call you, and he could get them to stop calling him. His most memorable story, he told me, was actually a bill he did pay, even though he talked a good game about beating the bill collectors. He said there was a bill collector who wouldn't stop calling him, and their last conversation ended with him saying something to the effect of, "You haven't heard the last of me, and you're going to know it's me someday when you see me." He claims after about a year, he paid off this bill by finding out where the bill collector's company address was in Texas, driving to Texas, showing up at the guy's office, dropping the money onto his desk and telling him not to ever call him again. He also claimed that when he showed up at the desk and asked the bill collector guy if he knew who he was, the guy knew exactly who he was. Whether or not this story was true, he certainly told it in a way that made it sound interesting. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he told it better than I'm telling it right now. Now, to the pothole story. This same man claimed that he was living in some small town. This would have been in the mid-90s or so. I think he said it was Alabama. I'm pretty sure he said it was Alabama. And there was a pothole in the street directly across from his driveway. So he was hitting this pothole every time he drove in and out of his driveway. He called the city, he contacted the city to try to get them to fix the pothole. They wouldn't do it. So, mind you, this is a man who apparently thought it was okay not to pay some of his own bills, but he wasn't going to have it with the city not fixing a pothole in front of his house. He claimed that in his last conversation with the city about this, he told them they needed to either fix it or he was going to have them shut down. Of course, they scoffed at him. But then he got his lawyer on the case, just like he said he would. And the next thing you knew, the city really was shut down. According to him, the city was shut down for 2 days until they agreed to fix his pothole. So I guess if this story is to be believed, he really did have a good lawyer, and his lawyer succeeded in getting the city shut down for a couple of days until they fixed the pothole in front of the house. And when he was telling this story, he was talking about how all they had to do was fix the pothole, but no, so he had to have them shut down in order to get it fixed. So whether you believed him or not, this guy really could talk a good game. Now, what do I think about some of what he said? I think him showing up and paying the bill in person to the bill collector, I don't know if that's true. It's a little bit more believable than the pothole story. For one thing, What can a lawyer really file that's going to get a city shut down over its refusal to fix a pothole? I mean, seriously, you could try to sue the city. People try to sue cities. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to shut down operations. How are the people in charge of the city, the administrators or the city manager, if they have one, or the mayor, or whatever, going to explain that to people? Oh, somebody's suing us for a whole bunch of money unless we fix this pothole. We're just going to have to cease all operations so we can pay him off in case his lawsuit actually succeeds. Come on, that's not going to happen. That type of thing never happens. If it was that easy to sue a city to fix a pothole, more people would do it. Also, I haven't been able to find anything on the internet about a city in Alabama being shut down for a few days because it refused to fix a pothole. So while this story was entertaining, it really doesn't stand up to scrutiny. So my final thought would be, if you have that much influence that you can get a city shut down over a pothole, then you would really do the world a favor to set your sights on some bigger and greater things as well. Have a good day.